Well, looks like that's working, so that's good. All right. I'll just take a look and see what I need to get doing. And if people show up, they do. So I took a look at L systems. That's good. I'll take that out of the code. Those are inconsistent. Why is this one over here month, day, year? I normally try to do it this way. Yep, that's correct. Felt like the mouse was off for a minute, and sometimes I get like, yeah, that's right. Sometimes I get bugs involving the mouse being off. So I noticed I watched about 5 or 10 minutes of yesterday's stream, and I noticed that there's weird little moments where I'm investigating behavior in 4coder, and I don't explain what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing right now, clicking around, is I'm making sure the clicks work. It's actually a habit I always have. I click around in whatever I have open. Sort of always trying to feel connected to my mouse on the screen, the cursor on the screen. Anyway. Hello Mojo Bojo. Hello. I'm going to get to it. So I realized that yesterday I didn't have the best plan in mind, because I made a stick tree. Let's pull up yesterday's stick tree. Run it. Okay, so it's not positioned correctly, first of all. It should look like that right at the beginning, but it looks like this. And that means that my width and height aren't correct. So what I want to do is I want to do one last little bit of Win32 work, because that should be 800 by 600, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the height should be 600. I tell it to adjust for the style. Oh, that's not right. It's supposed to be the Windows style, not the Win classes style. Alright, let's see if that works a little better. Oh, right there on my screen you can see my line count for 4coder right now is at 13,481. It's actually down. A couple days ago it would have been about 1,300 or 13,800, and I actually have been cutting line count down for the last couple of days, which is fun. Okay, maybe that's right. Let me check. what is the base position? Yeah, let's put that back to 600. Okay, cool. Hello, Canookles. Hello. Just make sure I'm saving. Haven't made too many changes. There's some structure stuff that I've changed. Okay, that's correct. There's some underlying architecture stuff that I'm sort of working on right now, so there might be bugs because of that in 4coder, but I haven't changed much. The to-do list I generated yesterday isn't really started yet. Okay, so let's get to the tree gen thing. Oops. So my new idea is, first of all, I'm doing this all silly. I don't want to do it this way. What I want to actually do is do polygon outline. So I can go back to the original plan, which was to generate the polygon shape, and I can't draw it yet because GL polygons requires convex polygons, which a tree will not be convex. But I can at least do outlines and outline. Yeah. And then I'll make something to bust it up into triangles in the future to continue this and make a solid polygon drawing thing somehow. And there's some interesting stuff there. So I think line loop is a possible thing, right? GL line loop. Looks like it's a thing. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and then I just go across all of the vertices, and it's going to connect them in a sort of outline of the polygon. Okay, and that means that right now what I want to do over here is draw this a little different. So it starts at the bottom, it goes up, it goes left first. So it shouldn't do previous first, it should do it second. Then it goes left, back, up, back, right, back. Then I want it to go back down at the end. That is to say, I want to have one of these again. And the cool thing is this works for outlines and for stick figures, so now I have the flexibility to start moving from this towards the polygon shape. Let me save and save. Even just a save all would be nice, but it's kind of irrelevant since I'm going to try to get away from manual saving. But I guess I want to support manual saving as well, so I'll have a save all. Yeah. So you can disable the autosave. Polygon. Uh-oh. Oh. Good catch. This no longer, this is just invalid. Okay. No, I just took that out. That's not even in there. App color. App color.cpp. Line 59. Oh, I took out the wrong assert. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, for now I'm just going to say that I don't even have to... Yeah, what I'm going to do is make this just super big. So I'll have plenty of vertices to do what I want to do, and later I'll make it tuned to the correct level of detail for how many vertices you're asking for. And maybe have a thing that predicts how many vertices are needed for a particular style of tree. Okay. And that'll get more advanced and stuff. Okay. So there we go. Now, to make it a little more tree-like, I need to give width to it. So, well, first of all, I want to make this a little more advanced. So right now, I'm just sort of manually doing all this, but I can't really do what I want to do with it. So I think I need a sort of a stack and stuff like that to keep track. Because I need a stack because if I'm going to do branches off of branches and stuff, I need to be able to keep track of multiple layers. So let's do whoops, keep doing the wrong key bindings just now. Alright, how many layers do I want? I'll set it arbitrarily for now. Is Kalimian here? Because I was going to respond to his, or someone else. So I did a little look up L systems. That's the reason I ask. But I'm not going to go with L systems. Looks interesting, but not my approach. Basin, and then we still want to have, I'm wondering if step size should be in the stack too. So really what I need is sort of at any particular point I'm keeping track of my position and also a couple other variables such as the rotate, the theta, and the step and stuff like that. So I need some kind of name for this, and it's going to have a back to position, step, theta. What's this going to be? I like that name. Okay. And so what I need is a stack of branch points. Alright. And the position is the base. Okay, the step is 40. And the theta is 270. Yeah, okay. And then after all that, I can do top. I think I'm going to want a easier way of writing that out. So Okay. So now I can do the more compact expression down here, which is kind of what I want to be able to do. Step of 40, theta to 70. Okay, that means I don't need this. I still want the K because that's sort of the output tracker. And when before I put that on the stack, I should be putting that in there. And then see if I can make the rest of this work the same way again. So basically, I want a loop while top is greater than 0. I want to look at what's at the top, so I need to grab the branch point. And then, let's see, I want to I want to step forward, so I need to take, well, basically what this needs to know is okay, well, I already have step. The thing I'm looking for is sort of a name for, it's got to know how many branches it's generated from this position. Really, it's going to need to know a delta theta as well. It's got to know how many branches it's generated and how many it wants to generate. So, gen, max gen, something like that. I'm not sure if that's a good naming scheme, so I don't count, branch max. That looks better for me. Okay. So if BP branch count is less than branch, not bit shift less, is less than branch max, else and then what do I need to do here? I need if I'm creating a new branch, then basically I push something new on there. Okay, so if the branch count is less, then I generate a new point. So position plus that's where I use the polar to Cartesian function to step forward in the direction that this current branch is facing. So it's sort of theta to, I need a length, right? BP step. So I'll put the new vertex and then push this on the stack. Let's see. So that is stack top plus equals VP disposition, step times 0.5, and then the question is the angle. What do I do there? Well, if I follow what I was doing before, it's sort of like take the old thing's angle, which is actually VP dot theta, and then I'm just going to subtract that for now. Okay. And so I have a few more parameters now. Well, delta theta is not going to be a parameter for a stack frame right now. It's going to stay here. Maybe I'll add that for flexibility later. D theta equals 45. And then the other question is I have to tell it how many sub-branches to produce. 1 minute. Anyway, sub-branches. And the actual branch count is set to 0 to begin with. Yeah, so that sets all of them. Okay. D theta. Actually, the initial theta is a little bit complicated because if you want to have the centers be the same, yeah. So it's actually more about how many branches you want, but that's fine. I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that later. And then let's see, that's pushing the vertex. And then I want to take, actually what I want to do here is I want to get a pointer to this. So this is going to change a lot of stuff. But I need the pointer because I need to change the branch count. Alright, so that made a new branch at that level, right? And then if the branch count, now right now there's no reason that this would just go into like infinite recursion basically, but I'll just have to tell it to stop at a certain point, and I'm not sure I'm going to do that yet, but I'll get back to it. The other point I want to do real quick is once you have produced all the branches you wanted to produce, which by the way this one wants to produce 1 branch, then I want it to pop that top off and I'll put another vertex at the same position. Okay, now just let's limit this so it doesn't always push a new branch point. Sometimes it just stays where it is and increases the branch count. Yeah, okay. So only put something new on the stack if, and in this case, the answer is going to be, let's see, top will be 0 first, it's 1 for the base thing, and it's 2 there. So if top is less than 2 for now, and it's a nice, cheesy way to get that done. Yeah, let's see. not getting anything. Well, let me pop open my debugger. This is always terrible. I have two Visual Studios open, one for the thing I'm working on, and one for 4coder, which is running 4coder in debug mode in case something goes wrong there. But anyway, I want to look at the tree gen function. I'm going to step through it from here. Okay, so vertices. I would like to see also the stack. Alright, so stack 0, what do we got here? It wants to produce one branch, it's going to step 40 pixels up. And it's starting from the base. Good. We got a 40 there, or a vertex there. Grabs that pointer. Should be pointing to... okay, so line 37. Did not calculate the top correctly. Whoops. It's over here, right? Yeah, right there. Okay. So the top of the stack is actually one less than that. Didn't rebuild. Okay, one sec. Okay. And do I have a pointer to something reasonable? Yes. Okay, so branch count is 0, which is less than its max. Gets a new P, writes that out. Top is small, so it puts a new thing on the stack right there. Okay, good. Next time through, it gets a pointer to that, right? So the height there is 560 instead of 600. Good. It then outputs another vertex based on that, and it does not put branch, but this wants to do 3 branches instead of 1. Step 2, outputs another branch. Step 3, outputs another one, and these should be in different locations. Are they? No, I didn't. Right, okay, gotta change the... Oops, wrong one again. I gotta change the... thing, or whatever. Oh yeah, but no, that wasn't it. Okay, I was just thinking about 4coder bug there. That's why I got momentarily confusing, if I wasn't perpetually confusing before that. Anyway, I want to change the theta by delta theta. Uh-oh. D theta? No, I didn't. Yeah, it is d theta, but I didn't store it in there. Okay, so it's gonna output the first vertex, the second vertex. Good. Why is that? Put 1 there. Top is at 2 now, right? So it should be to the left. It is up, but it's not very left-like. What was d theta before the plus? Should have been 225, right? I feel like that x can't be right. It should be farther to the left. See, that one should be centered. Whoa. Okay, let me do this again. I don't know how it got all the way up to 360. Okay, wait a minute. So this first level on the stack, right, it's altering theta there and then writing it out on the stack. Gotcha, that's a problem. So, not Emacs, 4coder, there we go. This should happen first, maybe. Before we emit the vertex and alter the state of this frame, I think that looks good. Put somebody out. Okay, here comes the third vertex. Alright, that's in the correct position. Okay, I know what happened there. That's kind of funny. So I didn't put as many vertices on that point as I need to. Did it again. 4coder. Okay, so that means before outputting this, if you push somebody on the stack, first you output that. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to say is whenever you get something off the stack, you immediately emit whatever is there. Which is quite a bit different than what I'm doing, and it means that I don't put this on myself. And then, so the base will get put on, and then it'll check and see if it needs to push or pop from there, so it won't do this, for example. Alright, and let's see. Then the other change I have to make is that I want more specific rules here. If basically I'm going to say based on whatever level I'm on, I want a different rule. If top is 1, we'll do one thing. If top is 2, we'll do one thing. And if top is 3, we'll do one thing. Okay. And we won't output that. Okay. So the question is just about what to push onto the stack. Technically, case 3 shouldn't happen, but I'll do this one at a time. So case 1 is the base of the tree. When the base pushes, it wants, I'll do these more directly. That its current theta minus the delta theta. I'll leave that one that way, I guess. Although I don't have to. I could. I don't want to perpetually. Actually, I won't do that because I don't want to always be in the business of hand specifying each layer, and then you tell that layer. So the thing you push from the base is the one that's up. That one needs to branch 3 times. The next one is this, which looks like this. None of this matters because it shouldn't branch at all. And then this shouldn't ever happen. Right, because that's the layer right here where I said always ask for 0 there. So not supposed to branch at this level, which means I don't need that. And so now the tips are going to be written out by this spot here, and then the top just goes down 1. And then when that goes down 1, it goes back to where it was, and then it pushes another 1 and updates its state again, and so on. So let's see that in action. There you go. That looks good. Next I want yeah, I want to mess with that just a little bit more before I go to thickness. So I don't want it to get as small so quickly. And I want to say that there are a few levels of this. And then it's like at level 4 we'll stop branching and call it good. See how that goes. Not quite what I was hoping for. Oh, I made that even smaller. I meant to make it bigger. Nice, okay. So it's sort of tree-like, right? Now, the problem I'm gonna not be happy with right now is that that they have the potential to overlap, and I think that is a matter of that 0.75 I put in there, and also the angle. So what I should do now is I'm going to take a quick moment to come over here. I was saying that I wanted to do it that way, but I'm going to change my mind now. We're going to generate the tree every frame, and then I'll add a tweaker. So what I need for that is let's see, I want temp and begin memory part. Okay, so now I can restore my memory position. After I set it up, so I want to go, that means I can come up here to app vars and say that this is just all out because I only need it to be local. I'm going to do it every time. Alright. This is all the same as what's up here. And then tree gen, number of vertices, vertex count, I want to separate that into a separate variable. Vertex count, and same base position. Okay, so that generates a tree. And what I want to do is, before that happens, temp memory temp equals temp mem begin first part. Okay. That means all this can go. Alright, make sure everything is still working. Uh-oh. Line 157 on app color. Vertices is not a member. You're right. These are no longer members of app colors. Okay, great. And then I want well, I want to make, let's see, a couple of these into parameters. So, other than just the base, so 3 parameters. I want the initials d theta and alright, we can do iteration levels or levels. Okay, and then this becomes one of those tree parameters, params. So params.d theta params.base params.initial step. We'll have it go up still and create one at the beginning. And then if the top is if the top is less than levels, well, if we count one level as, so the number of levels plus 2 is the max the stack has to get to. So like 13 is the maximum level that we should allow, right? Because 15 is the maximum index you can even ask for in the stack that we have. So if it's going to go up too higher than that. Yeah, seems right. Seems right. That right there should be not d theta. Step dk. Doesn't look like we're having that other bug, so what I'm going to do is say that it doesn't happen. I'll ignore that assert. Not going to keep it. Okay. Yep. So then it gets up to value of level, and it gets one above that. As I take it back, I guess 14 is the highest level, right? Because if top equals 14, it's going to add one more for that push there, and then it's never going to push another one. So 14 would be the maximum level that I could put in, given the stack size. Okay. Now over here, we gotta set the tree base up correctly, or the parameters. So we'll grab that tree parameters. And set levels. Before we were going to 4 levels, so let's keep that the same. Initial step equals 40. Step dk is, what is it? 0.75. D theta is 45. Okay. And we need to build it again. Run it again. Okay, still at the same spot, but now the parameters have been pulled out, so we can make tweakers. So let's see. If that's going to be the case, what I actually want to do is store this in app files. Okay, and then I want to initialize it up here. Cool. Okay, so that's the part that actually generates a tree. Here we're going to add some other stuff. So step decay ranges from 0 to 1. Yeah, so it'll be something like do tweaker adjuster. Probably a better phrase if I'm gonna have to say it a lot. Okay, so do an adjuster. I want to give these adjusters an ID. Let's see. I need to tell it what it's adjusting, right? So initial step. Give it some kind of range of values. I'm going to give it a pop up here real quick because I'm going to want a sort of rectangle type. That should be it. X1 equals let's see, x1 equals something like 110. So I have a Canuckles has asked me to showcase the scrolling, which I think he means something like this, right? So, you know, I'm up here, sort of. I just sort of splatted this rectangle in the wrong spot, so that's no good. I'm gonna. Whoa! Good thing I did that. Nice save, Canuckles. I already have a rectangle. Super. So let's come back down here without my doubly defined rectangle struct, which would have annoyed me. And get back to writing a little bit of code. Was that enough scrolling? I can do one other thing for you. This isn't scrolling you get to see every day, so maybe a little bit of side scrolling. You know, I really like seeing a good side scroll. Does that satisfy you, Canuckles? Is that good? All right. What was I doing? Width. Right. I gotta set this to have a little bit of height. Alright, so there's initial step, step decay, and d theta. D theta. Okay. Now the range for step decay is 0 to 1. And the range for d theta is going to be like I guess 90 to 0. I guess that's backwards for everyone else, but it makes more sense to me that way. So I'll make it work forwards and backwards. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah, Canuckles, I saw the Casey showed me the Amiga smooth scrolling video when I first added smooth scrolling. I made a video and put it on YouTube, on YouTube and on Twitter, and shared it. And he shared the video on his channel back to me, and it's actually really cool to see that that something, because I mean, I imagine I don't know the age on the Amiga, but I know probably after that time, the computers I had were older Windows computers, and nothing ever really made computers look as cool as that video on those computers. That I had. And yeah, it is an Amiga. After that I went and researched it. It was the name of the editor was like Cygnus Ed or something like this. CYGNUSED. Don't know why I just challenged myself to spell something on my channel while I was streaming live, but I did. Alright, so I've got these tweakers set up. What I want to do real quick is, I'm still calling them tweakers. What do you know? Is step this forward. So if it's got 20 there, I'll step it forward 30. Copy. Paste. This is an example, by the way, of an immediate mode GUI. So if you're one of those people who's watching and you somehow don't understand the immediate mode GUI concept, this is it. Also, I think I haven't started this function right, so I just wrote the usage here first without even thinking about it. Alright, I need a real 32 pointer called V, the thing I'm editing, whatever. Low, high, and a rectangle to draw it into. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to get the drawing right. The ID part I'm ignoring, but it goes something kind of like this. I want to do a rectangle in the background that looks like a bit silverish. And then I want to find the value. So I want to unlerp, which means I have low to high, and this V is somewhere in between those. So I want to unlerp that. So to unlerp it, I'll store this in something. Goes like this sort of. Okay, I can't. How does that? You subtract low and divide by high, right? Or you divide by. Okay, that's right. Okay, so it's this minus low divided by high minus low. Right? Because that shifts both of these down to being zero based. And then you do the division and you get something between 0 and 1 because V was greater than or equal to low and less than or equal to high. So if it was high, you'd get a 1. If it was low, you'd get a 0 from this. And as long as high and low aren't the same, this is fine. Okay. And if they were the same, you wouldn't make an adjuster in the first place. So that seems good. And then I want an x value, which is just the lerp from x0 of the scale to x1. And then using that, we can make a quick change to the rectangle. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I want to do that. And put it, oh, that should be x1. And then another rectangle that's closer to white. I think the first one was too bright now that I'm looking at it. Okay, let's see if we're drawing those correctly. Uh-oh. $149, missing a parenthesis, huh? I am. Hello, Mr. Burnsy. I'm working on I'm using 4coder, which is my I think there should be an info in the Twitch thing, but it's my code editor, and I'm working on a tree generating sort of thing. And right now I'm just adding in a graphical interface for tweaking the parameters to play with it more directly. Alright, so I'm trying to build the new sliders I just added. Undeclared identifier 178. Talking about params. Fair enough. Alright, let's see this again. Ah, great, let's run it. Awesome. So next I need to make these slidable, so I can slide them around. Okay, so for that, I just need to make sure and remember these. So the mouse state is passed in on step. So yeah, step mouse. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just use step mouse, and I just need to check for X, Y, and clicks and stuff. Okay. So let's see. I'll just grab a mouse state pointer real quick. Here's the mouse, and that's in step mouse. Yeah, okay. Nice, all right. And then we want to pass that in here. Okay, so when we do the adjuster now, we're passing in the mouse. So basically what we can do is we can say